Well, once again, hello again. The My Team series. We're back. We're so back again. Ignore Zandvoort. The Zandvoort Grand Prix did not happen. The sprint race did happen, but I mean, I have quite the faint memory of the Grand Prix. I don't actually know what happened, to be honest. But nonetheless, we are back for the Italian Grand Prix, where just going through some facility improvements here, just seeing what we do and don't want to do, just seeing what we can normally get in terms of the facility improvements here. As I'm just looking through, we are doing dual development. That's a game changer in terms of the aspects of getting more upgrades done. Because dual development, if you don't know what it is, it's you can develop two upgrades at the same time. I think it takes a little bit longer, but I think it costs less to do two at the same time. And yeah. There's an R&D chart, by the way. We've gone back ahead of Williams, so we are now ahead of Cadillac, Aston, Audi, and Williams. Unless we've got a brand new secondary sponsor to come and work with us. We've got some excessive cash reserves as well. We've got around 6 to 8 million. Nonetheless, though, just doing some more upgrades, making sure everything is working more and more. We've got our front wing development upgrade be put on. As we put that on, we are getting so much closer to the likes of Alpine and Haas. So we are getting close to being a solid midfield team here. And then you can see we have finally got dual development. So whenever we want to do upgrades, we can upgrade two at a time. Just want to see what else we can do. We're going to do some research expansion on the aerodynamic side of things as well. So we can just continue to upgrade the aerodynamic package. Nonetheless, though, development failed for one of the cars on the power unit side of things. And we're just making sure here, as we put this on here, we're going to jump ahead, I would hope, of Racing Bulls and Williams. So we are the 7th fastest car now. We are jumping up the order, excuse me. As in terms of tyre eradication, going to go harder for the tyre eradication at Monza. And once again, to be the final time we do Victor Martin until Gabriele Mini is roughly near or ahead of him. Let's go to qualifying then for the Italian Grand Prix.
They call it the Temple of Speed, and the pilgrims have come to worship. It's all about the speed today. Qualifying awaits us. Welcome to Monza for the Italian Grand Prix.
So on our first run here, in qualifying for the Italian Grand Prix, around the famous Parabolica, a little bit of grass and a little bit of an oversteer, It's quite a big oversteer. As we make our way across the line now, it'll be a 119.737 into the top 6, and that will be, I would hope, and it is enough to make it through. The home hero, Antonelli, is P1, top of the session from Norris, then Russell, Charles Leclerc and Hamilton for the Scarlet Ferrari to 5th and 6th. It's Lawson very well there, head of Ocon, Albon, Hulkenberg, Sainz, Victor Martin, Oscar Piastri, Fernando Alonso, Verstappen, Ollie Behrman, Arvid Lindblad, Isaac Hadjar just getting through, ahead of Lance Stroll. Then the 7th to 4 was Stroll, Bottas, Perez, Bortolesso, Mini, Gasly, Mini and Colapinto. Roll on to Q2 then, here in Monza, and on a used set of tyres, making our way towards the final corner of the circuit, around the Parabolica, much better Parabolica in terms of no oversteer, battery to use, I mean not a lot to use on the run to the line, but then we've also got a decent time. It's a 1:19.53, we've gone 2 tenths quicker, and again, on the same set of tyres we used in Q1, we're through. We've used one set of tyres. We've got 3 new soft for Q3. Leclerc from Hamilton, it's Piastri, Verstappen, Antonelli, Russell, and then Alexander Albon ahead of ourselves in 8th, and it's Nico Hulkenberg for Audi in P9. We've done very well on our old tyres there to get into 8th. I was over the moon with that. Carlos Sainz in P10 behind Hulkenberg in 9th, and the 7th to full. Hadjar, one of the big shocks. Arvid Lindblad, the biggest shock of them all. The world champion and championship leader Lando Norris is out in Q2. It's also Behrman, Alonso, Ocon and Lawson, but Lando Norris falls the second hurdle. And the pressure's mounting on him again. Just like 2025, the pressure is so much rising so much. We round the final corner on our first of 2 new tyre runs here. Just the boot as well. I've actually completely brushed over it to come across the line. Set at 193. Just to add on to this fact, we took a new power unit, so we have a new engine component. So we have a 5-place grid drop. So wherever we qualify, take away 5 positions. As we make our way into turn number 1, rotate it through the chicane, much better on the turn, and then apply the power on the exit, and then we see instantly rising a 10th and a bit up as we make our way round the Curva Grande on the run down to the Della Roggia chicane, where you have to get the braking, you have to chuck it in absolutely perfectly here. 800th of a second up was rotated through the chicane. The rear wanted to slide down as we apply the power. There was a little bit of time on the mid acceleration, then gain some on the exit, but then opt to use less battery here. That's why we lose all the time. And then on the rundown through Lesmo 1 towards Lesmo 2 and apply the power instantly. Now on the rundown towards the Ascari chicane, we've ensured this lap we've got plenty of battery. 2/10 to the good as we make our way towards that famous Ascari, where we get into the final sector, marginally down, marginally up, sorry, on Piastri. Through Ascari we go and apply the battery to use all the way to the Parabolica. We will turn it off so we don't completely run out in a couple moments time, but as we make our way towards the final corner on the circuit, lift and coast, rotate it through the final corner, foot to the floor, battery to the line. Where can we put this car on what will be just the finishing order? We come across the line now. It will be a 1:18.920. We stay in P9, and well, we've got one more time. We just made it back to the line as we go through the final corner. The understeer of all understeered. Get on the boost early. Give it 2 boots of throttle to try and get it rotated. And into the wall we go. But Charles Leclerc on pole position. Ahead of Antonelli. The top two split by 15 milliseconds. Hamilton in third. Ferrari and Mercedes having a wonder day in qualifying. Russell fourth. Behind him, it's Alex Albon. Then Piastri, Max Verstappen, Carlos Sainz, ourselves in ninth. And then Nico Hülkenberg will round off the grid in P10. Well, if we didn't find that minor improvement, we could have gone up to 8th on the grid. But in terms of grids, let's go to the grid for the Italian Grand Prix.
We're back in Italy once again for another round of the Formula One World Championship. And what a great race is in store for us today, here at the oldest circuit on the calendar, which hosted its first race all the way back in 1922. We're 12 miles northeast of Milan for today's Grand Prix at a Monza circuit where we can expect top speeds of around 215 miles per hour. 11 corners on this 3.6 mile track, with 7 of those coming in the form of chicanes. And with a good slipstream, there should be plenty of opportunity for some passing here today. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole. And Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Russell, Albon, Oscar Piastri and Verstappen, Sainz, Hülkenberg, Hadjar and Arvid Lindblad, Antonelli, Norris, Ollie Behrman and Martins, Ocon, Lawson, Lance Stroll and Valtteri Bottas, Perez, Bortoletto, Gasly, Mini, Alonso and Franco Colapinto rounds off the grid. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. Well, it's been a long time since I last worked with you. Good to see you again today, Anthony Davidson. So here we are at Monza, Temple of Speed, lovely long straights, and well, that's it. It's easy, isn't it?
It's a little bit harder than that, Crofty, than you make out. I mean, yes, you do have those long straights, but it's linked by very tight, tricky corners. Big emphasis on braking zones around here as well, particularly into turn 1. You decelerate at the 150-metre board down to the 50-metre board, and you'll scrub off easily over 150 miles an hour. So, yeah, it puts a lot of G-force on the drivers' bodies as they decelerate. And obviously, it throws up a big overtaking opportunity as well come race day.
So, onto the formation up. A lot of grid penalties here at Monza. Ourselves and Antonelli being the 2 key figures, having grid drops here in Monza. Antonelli from P2 drops down to P11. We drop down to P14. But we know how much we can gain on race starts against the AI. We know how much we can send it here. We know we have to send it if we want to have any chance of beating Williams and Red Bull in terms of whatever chance we've got to fight in the constructors. If it's on track, if it's a different strategy, all answers to be decided as we go to the red lights on in the Italian Grand Prix, and they're out and we're racing towards turn 1. It's not the greatest start for ourselves. We actually bulk down on the race start. We are getting an even start. Where's Esteban Ocon though? As we go towards turn number 1, Norris and Lindblad. We're going to go instantly through on the inside line. So many cars we dive on by, make contact with Hülkenberg. That part not the cleanest, but we leave the room for the free wide with like Sainz and Lindblad. Then on the run down now towards the Curva Grande, past Hadjar, past Nico Hülkenberg. On the run down towards the Della Ruggia chicane, we are through from 14th on the grid to 7th already. So already some decent points already on the board for ourselves as we rotate it through the chicane. And then we look for the move of Verstappen, but to the replay. At the Grand Prix race start, Ferrari front row lockout at the Italian Grand Prix. It's racing, and further behind you see George Russell seeming to get a good start as he made his way on the run down towards turn number 1. Leclerc defending the inside line, fending off his teammate actually as George Russell looks for the outside line on Lewis Hamilton. You see us steaming on the inside there, side by side through the chicane. Hamilton gets the momentum on the outside line to get the move and holds second in the race. Russell tried to fight him back, but nothing there. Called a Mercedes man. Then we go back to our battle with Max Verstappen. Verstappen seems to be struggling in these cars also much. We go towards Ascari, we go through the chicane, through Ascari, apply the power on the exit of the corner. Verstappen seeming a little bit offline, but then we use a little bit of splash of our battery and make our way now down in towards the Parabolica. Verstappen again knows he has to defend it because we are on the charge. We're looking for the outside line, side by side through the Parabolica. We're going to sail and try and dance all the way around the outside line and get through into 6th position in the race. And let's say a very good race start here. Already passed both of the Red Bulls, so we can continue this momentum on to lap 2. We are charging now, side by side between Albon and Russell. Albon using his battery, Russell opting to save that battery as we make it round the final corner and towards turn 1 we will go. Can we get in the mix here? Can George Russell get back past the Williams? Towards turn 1 we will run. And without a shadow of a doubt, Piastri gets the fastest lap. He's on the rear of those Ferraris as George Russell gets back through into 4th position here. Then Piastri, as you saw, has dropped down the order. Alex Albon's now in the podium positions. The Williams looks really good as we have a massive snap through the Della Roggia chicane. Massive overstep, maybe dropped us out the second, but we work our way back to get within the second here. You see side by side between Hamilton and Piastri. Piastri sails and dances around the outside line, and we're able now to close back up. We're able now to get back within this second as we go through Lesmo 1 and Lesmo 2. Our rear end was not the nicest to us, I can tell you that now. Our rear end was not fun at all through Lesmo 2 on the rundown towards the Ascari chicane. We have got the battery, we've got the slipstream, gaining on the Williams towards turn number 1. We'll be gaining all the while, but are we close enough to look for the move on the inside line? Albon comes across us slightly, but then good defending from the Williams man, able to fend us off, but then on the exit of Ascari, now on the rundown towards the Parabolica, where once again we're going to be gaining all the while, gaining in that slipstream towards towards the Parabolica, towards the final corner. We will run round it, we go, rotate the car through, and use a little splash of battery again. But we have to ensure we don't use all of it here as we make the run towards turn number 1, where once again the battery has actually gone to 0, but we're gaining on the Williams of Alexander Albon. We're going to look for the move. It's further ahead. It might be 3 wide between Russell, Piastri, and Hamilton. It actually is 3 abreast there. Russell, I think, just backed out of it to go on the exit of the Della Roggia chicane, the Della Roggia Valianti, I think it's called. I might have completely butchered that. But then on the rundown towards, this is the Della Roggia chicane, towards the chicane, we're going to look for a dive on the inside line, go very late on the brakes, trying to flick it again and stop. The rear completely snaps out of it. We have to cut the corner. Albon says thank you very much, he'll take that back. And then the first 2 drivers into the pit lane. Leclerc pitted on that previous lap. Now Hamilton and Russell into the pits as well. Into pit lane comes Piastri and Albon. And here comes Max Verstappen on that hard compound tyre. Max Verstappen moves into the lead of the Italian Grand Prix. But is he going for the one stop? No. Verstappen peels into the pit lane, peels out of maybe the one stop on lap number 12 on the next lap. Like we peel now into the pit lane for what is going to be a one-stop strategy. The tyres were fine in terms of making it the one-stop work, so I don't get why the AI haven't pitted. Lindblad's followed us in as well. 2 rookies in the pit lane at the exact same time here at Monza. We go through then. We go through the pit box here, get the hard tyres on, good stop, 2.5 seconds as we now make our way towards the pit exit. Hopefully we're not too far behind this quarter cars that are coming through. There goes Hadjar, Norris, Ocon, and the Sainz as well. So we're actually we should be on the rear here, which we are. We go through the chicane, instantly close up to Carlos Sainz here, and we should, because of the recharge we've been able to use with our battery in the pit lane, we should be able to breeze on by Carlos Sainz. We're looking around the outside of the Curva Grande here, and through we go, and maybe going to try and set someone on less about Ocon. I go very, very late. I didn't want to go for the move, but luckily Ocon left us the room. We lightly tap in, maybe light front wing damage for ourselves, but I mean, I didn't really feel anything. I mean, it feels okay. Then further ahead, Hadjar on Norris running wheel to wheel, and Hadjar gets past Lando Norris, and look at us all close back up again. You've got Verstappen, Antonelli, Albon, Hadjar, Norris, and now ourselves in this train here as we make our way through Lesmo 1 towards Lesmo 2. Just look how much everything is closing up here. Wide goes Lando Norris. And the exit of Lesmo 2 on the rundown towards the Ascari chicane, where we're going to save our battery. Don't want to get too involved here. And then you can see the scrap now. Norris and Albon going to battle as well. Hadjar doing defense part against Albon and Norris. Side by side they run on the exit of the Parabolica and head down the main straight towards turn number 1. You can see in the background we're looking to get involved as well. We're looking to get involved on the pair of them here as we make our way down and towards turn number 1. But once again, Norris is going to defend us, and we look for the move down on the inside line. Norris goes, I thought he was going to cut across there. He does cut across as we go for the move on Alex Albon as well. Again, accidentally, as we look around the outside line and get past the Williams. So, in the move was only trying to get 1, we've made up 2 in a matter of 1 corner here. Now back to the battle with ourselves and Verstappen. We're gaining on Max Verstappen. We surely can't be close enough to make a move under braking all the way around the outside. Oh my word. Bold, brave, brilliant. What a move. Again, that's another move I was quite ecstatic with. Into the pit lane comes Hamilton. This is now the battle for the lead. And Hadjar seems to have the battery as we make our way towards the opening chicane. Here comes Verstappen on the inside. The Red Bulls working together, it seems. But Hadjar giving his teammate a tow as he runs side by side. We fend off the Dutchman. Well, the main thing is here, we can't let Hadjar hold us up for too long because we are in a fight for the lead. That there is no doubt. Charles Leclerc, I believe, is making his way around the curve of Grande area. You can see 7 seconds back as we make our way towards turn number 1. Pit windows open for the second stop if we are to make it. And towards turn 1 we're going to go looking for that move again. But Hadjar again able to fend us off here. Through turn 1, through turn 2 we go. This is completely hampering us here as we make our way through towards the Curva Grande. Can we finally make this move and go around the outside of the Frenchman here? Hadjar hasn't got the battery on at the minute, but there you can see in the second phase on the run to the straight, Hadjar does put his battery on, but we go brave and late on the brakes and we completely cut through, get that position back and into the lead of the Italian Grand Prix here at Monza here, round Lesmo 1 and towards Lesmo 2, but then towards the Parabola we go once again. Hadjar completely draining his battery pack as he makes his way in towards the final corner. Around the final corner we run, and onto lap number 21 we're going to run. Hadjar should be peeling into the pit lane pretty soon, and there's your answer. Here we go. With Isaac Hadjar now peeling into the box. We have to get our elbows out here when Charles Leclerc does arrive on the scene. As we go towards turn number 1 here. And just look at the back, look at the gap now down to 2.1 seconds here. There was a lap 23 or 27. We are doing well to slowly maintain this gap, but Leclerc, sooner rather than later, will arrive on the scene in the context of getting a 3rd Ferrari win at Monza at the Italian Grand Prix. Battles here between Hamilton and Piastri. Piastri chops to the inside line and Hamilton will say no thank you, I don't want it to get stuck. He'll try and make the move, but then further behind the 2 Red Bulls of Verstappen and Hadjar run wheel to wheel, and Verstappen able to get that position on Hadjar. As we look over on board with Norris, going to be able to make a move on the rundown towards the De La Rogia chicane, gaining on Hadjar, but I don't believe he will be close enough. Back to the live action then with ourselves here. Charles Leclerc getting close to our rears. We approach lap 24 of 27. Exit the Parabolica towards turn 1. We haven't really got the battery to defend this one. Towards turn 1 we go, squeezing Charles Leclerc to the inside line. Again, just doing a little splash of the battery here. Leclerc's light is flashing. We do the lift and coast, then we go brave to try and dance and late on the brake around the outside line. We pinch ourselves there as we go on the power, almost tyre hooking with Charles Leclerc. As we go on the exit of turn 2, flat through turn 3 of the Curva Grande. And this is a Grande battle, I can confirm, on the rundown towards the De La Rogia chicane. Leclerc seems to have the battery. Are we going to go brave and dive it on the inside line? Yes, we are. Head of the apex and get the lead back again. And then back to the replays of Norris and Verstappen and Hadjar, all doing battle. Here comes Lando Norris to ease on by the Flying Dutchman, get past Verstappen into 8th position, but then Verstappen strategically will use his battery later and Verstappen will get back again into P8, further behind the two Williams cars, doing battle of Albon and Sainz, and they were fighting for podiums. They're now not even fighting for the major points. They're fighting for the last point position here at Monza. Back to the live action though. Leclerc looking for the inside move and the first of two Lesbos. On the inside we squeeze Charles Leclerc, but then Charles Leclerc gets through. We then fight him round the outside, slam that door shut, and are able to hold on to the lead. But then Leclerc has got the battery. Leclerc's going to be able to breeze back on by, and Charles Leclerc retakes the lead of the Italian Grand Prix. But now we have to try and absolutely send it through Ascari here to try and keep us the Monaco here to have any hope and aspiration of getting a victory here. Using the battery a little bit more than we would and the run down towards the Parabolica. We're gaining on Charles Leclerc, trying to force him to defend that inside line, but not close enough on this occasion. Round the final corner we run. Have we got the battery to attack Charles Leclerc? It would probably have to be something audacious and penalty risk-worthy here as we make our way towards turn number 1, gaining on Charles Leclerc, but the battery is out. But nonetheless, we'll be gaining all the while in that slipstream, and towards turn 1 we will go. We're going to commit. We're committing to the inside line. Leclerc turns in. I don't blame him, and we've made contact with the Monaco. We go for the switcheroo, but I turned the battery off because I want to give him that position back again. But then now he's fully ahead. We can now try and make a move towards the De La Roger chicane. We're now looking for the outside line. It'll be the inside for the chicane, but Leclerc has got the battery, has got the position. I tried to dummy him into a mistake, but yeah, Charles Leclerc gets and holds the lead of the Italian Grand Prix. Further behind though, Hamilton and Piastri still going at it against each other, and Hamilton going like we did to Verstappen all the way around the outside. But then on the final lap here at Monza, after the woes of the Dutch Grand Prix, Charles Leclerc will take 2 wins in a row. We will get a podium in Monza.
And Leclerc to the line, to the checkered flag. It's King Charles today. He wins.
And it's always good, Crofty, to get that momentum on your side, and it's really good for your confidence as well. The more confident you are, the further that can take you.
It's what every driver imagines when they start out on their long road towards Formula One. And for our lucky 3 today, here's the podium waiting for them. And who gets to take the top step of the podium? Yes, it is I, Leclerc. Charles Leclerc on top. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
So here are your race results then. Charles Leclerc converts pole to victory. Ahead of ourselves from P14 on the grid to P2, not too shabby. George Russell gets P3, 6 tenths ahead of his teammate Antonelli. And then it will be Antonelli 4th. From Hamilton from the front row to P5. Then it's Piastri in 6th, Red Bull in 7th and 8th. So we gain 8 points on Red Bull. Maybe trying to reinstate a hunt for the Constructors' Championship. Nonetheless, though, the top 3 in the Championship have gained on Lando Norris. And it's Norris in 9th, from Carlos Sainz and Albon. Williams, again, just not being able to convert qualifying pace to race pace. And it's Ocon from Gasly, Lindblad, Valtteri Bottas, Lawson, Behrman, Hulkenberg, Sergio Perez, Gabriele Mini, Fernando Alonso, and then Bortoletto, Stroll, and Franco Colapinto round to the finishing line. In terms of the drivers, then, the top 5, Leclerc's now in this, the top 5 are split by 37. Norris is top of the championship by 9 points ahead of Antonelli. 27 points back is George Russell. 2 points behind George is Piastri on 219 points, who is 29 behind Norris. Then Charles Leclerc, who is 8 points from Piastri, is 37 from Norris. So it is game on for the Drivers' Championship. Hamilton quite the slight more distance back, 49 points behind his Monaco's team, and it's Verstappen from ourselves now, who we've got jumped back ahead of Isaac Hadjar by 1 point. There's Hadjar in 9th, Gabriele Mini in P10 in the drivers, in Carlos Sainz in 11th, Alex Albon, Gasly, Lawson, Hulkenberg, Colapinto, and Lindblad, the drivers who have scored. And there's Perez, Alonso, Ocon, Bottas, Bortoletto, Behrman, and Stroll, the drivers who are still yet to score points in this 2026 season. The constructors split by 7. McLaren v Mercedes seems to be the way to go. Ferrari could bring themselves back into this here. 7 points between the top 2, 94 between the top 3. Red Bull, more or less out of it here. And then ourselves in P5, 75 points from Red Bull. And we've got a good gap to Williams, who are on 55 points. Alpine in 7th, then it's VCarb in 8th, and then Audi. And then the 3-team split score, Cadillac, Aston, and Haas. Well, another episode done of the My Team series. A much better race weekend overall compared to Zandvoort. Did enjoy, like and subscribe. Obviously, we are approaching the dark end of this season now. We've got, I believe, 8 more rounds to go until we head into season 2. But from me, thank you for watching. Ciao, dios. I'll see you for the next one. Bye-bye-bye!